Despite his similarities to Stinky Pete from Toy Story 2, Huggin Bear, or Lotso for short, stands as Toy Story's trilogy's most fearsome non-human antagonist. After initially presenting himself as a grandfatherly figure to Woody, Buzz, and the rest of the gang, Lotso's true colors come shining through as he relegates the toys to a room full of playful toddlers. Lotso's villainy only deepens as the movie progresses, as the character goes to extreme lengths to maintain his tyrannical hold over the Sunnyside daycare community, which includes his decision to turn Buzz against his pals. Though Woody actually saves Lotso's life, the strawberry scented bear leaves Andy's toys to perish within an enormous incinerator. Though he's ultimately not terribly threatening, Captain Hook remains one of the most iconic villains within Disney's list of animated features, as the character's flamboyant personality is heightened by his overtly villainous appearance. The hook for a hand would be enough for most bad guys, but the captain also boasts a sinister mustache and an intimidating fashion sense. Along with his loyal yet incompetent sidekick Smee, Captain Hook spends most of the film attempting to murder Peter Pan, who he holds responsible for the loss of his left hand. Towards the climax of the film, Captain Hook displays just how cowardly he really is when he attempts to knock off Peter Pan with a bomb rather than confront his enemy face to face. He's also quite intelligent and manipulative when he wants to be, as evident as he was able to find a little loophole in his little deal between him and Tinkerbell, as in he says he would not lay a finger on Peter Pan, but that doesn't mean that he won't lay a bomb in his hideout though, which he did. It's easy to for some to sympathize with Hook, considering the fact Peter throughout the film is kind of portrayed as a bit of a brat, and he was the one, like I said before, he did cut off his hand and fed it to a crocodile. But at the same time, we're talking about a guy here who's willing to kill kids just to get what he wants. And let's not forget, and yes, even though that's pretty messed up, we don't know the full context of the situation. For all we know, Hook was doing, bad stuff prior to that situation anyways. After all, he is a pirate, and and the movie does show that Hook's even willing to even callously kill one of his own crewmates for the most minuscule of things. This doesn't, don't get it twisted, guy. He is not a good guy. This is not a good guy. As much as some of us might not like Peter Pan, Hook is no better. Let's not get it twisted. And like I said, some people will say like, well, Peter, he can do all these type of stuff. He can fly while Hook can't. Again, like I said, I can get why people sympathize with the guy, but at the same time, he's still a jerk. With that said, I still really enjoy the character, especially his scenes with the crocodile, his trauma, his trauma. What Crocodile did to him always makes me laugh whenever I see these scenes. Anyways, like I said, Hook has always been one of my favorite things about this movie. Hook might be my favorite character in this movie. Now that I think about it, his scenes and everything. Now that I think about it, his scenes are usually like my favorite scenes in this movie. So yeah. Unlike every other villain on this list, Syndrome wants to help rather than kill the hero at the start of the story. Starting off as another troubled kid thanks to his rejection by his idol, Mr. Incredible. Syndrome grew to despise superheroes and became an ingenious supervillain himself, creating numerous gadgets like a device able to fire point energy and rocket boots. Syndrome used them for evil and murdered a dozen or so superheroes to test out his giant robot, even challenging Mr. Incredible. His ultimate goal was to remove the very meaning of a superhero by pretending to be one at first and then selling his gadgets to the public so that they can become superheroes themselves, to the point that everyone is the same and not super anymore. Syndrome is a very twisted villain, more than willing to blow up Mr. Incredible's family and kidnap his youngest child just to see him suffer, which undoubtedly cements his place as an impressively evil villain. Perhaps if Mr. Incredible had been kinder to the younger Syndrome, he would have turned out all right and become a better person. But hey, we'll never know. Lanky, shrill, and very, 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 very old, Yzma is not your typical Disney villain. But The Emperor's New Groove is not your typical Disney film. So it works out quite well. Along with her delightfully clunky and morally perplexed henchman Krunk, Yzma seeks to poison Cusco after he fires her. Poisons are Yzma's specialty, and they normally work well when not in inept hands, that is. Yzma makes a nice nemesis for Cusco. She mirrors several of his worst traits, most notably selfishness and vanity. Like everything else in this fast-paced ride, you can't take this Imperial advisor too seriously. As such, Eartha Kitt and the animators find just the right tone for the character. Yzma has got to be one of the funniest villains I've ever seen. The scenes with her and her sidekick Krunk are comedy gold. The Emperor's New Groove would not be the same without her. She turns people into animals. How cool is that? When she turns into a cat, I laughed so hard when I was little. She was so cute and had such a high voice, but yet still managed to be evil. Rest in peace, Eartha Kitt. You're surely missed.
Pull the lever, Krunk. Wrong lever! Why do we even have that lever?